Hey there guys, welcome back to another Gate Ruler video. Now before we get started, I just wanted to give a quick couple channel updates. If you saw on my community posts, I mentioned that I'd been recording videos and scheduling them and posting them every few days. I've been doing a little bit less of that, but I still have a bunch of videos scheduled, and those videos are essentially getting pushed further and further and further out as we get more card reveals. So basically what you should expect is on days where either we don't get any cards or we get like one card that's really boring or something, then you will see one of those videos, and those are like longer form discussion videos or set reviews, part of the set review series. But on days where we do get card reveals, you can expect to see those going up like same day, basically as soon as they're posted. That's basically the plan, and I'm hoping that will all go well, especially once reveals like kick up into kind of a higher gear in like probably Feb and certainly March, where we get a lot more of them. Though in March I have my Viva for my thesis, so I'll probably be quite busy, but we'll see how that goes. Anyway, enough rambling, let's get started with the video, and we've got two cards to talk about today that were revealed, one from each of the starter decks, and both of them are very interesting, and I think this one's kind of being slept on a bit, just from the general impressions that I've seen. So translation there. If you want to see these like the second they go up, join my Discord server, it's linked in the description. I post them in new cards pretty much as soon as they go up, and sometimes my translations are faster than the ones we get from elsewhere. If there's not one available, I'll just do it myself. But anyway, so this is a level 0. It is a 2/4/0, and the effect is you reduce the cost of dragons you will call from your hand by 1. Now, this is a very interesting effect, in my opinion, because the sort of the best comparison to this card is, I think, to an energy booster. Obviously, it's a pretty flawed comparison, because with the energy boosters, their stats are worse. They're only once per turn, but they are far more versatile, and they are attributed better than this, which doesn't really have a relevant attribute at the moment. But they are comparable, because in the kind of level 3 spam deck that you can play in Night, you will be running a lot of energy boosters, and here this serves a very similar purpose, right? By reducing the cost of your dragons, and you know, playing a level 3 for 2 is really powerful. I think like you've got to appreciate the strength of that, because the whole way like level 3s are designed, with the fact that Knight is untapping 2, means that it's something that you either have to have something set up for, so you can go back to full energy the next turn, or it's going to lock you out of a large number of options doing that then and there. Getting this, meaning you're playing it for 2, not only leaves you with energy available for your opponent's turn to interact, but it's also going to let your next turn be fully untapped. If like you decide not to use costs like that 1 energy, or if you do, it's it's still giving you that 2, right? It's just giving you those options. Now, in exchange, obviously, for locking you into only really getting that benefit on dragons, you're getting a 2/4/0. The attack's kind of irrelevant. You're getting a 4 HP body on a level 0, and that is valuable. I think anyone who's played a little bit of the game now should be understanding that, yes, 4 HP on a 0 is really nice, which is, if you chuck this in an attack zone, it's probably like pretty worthless, realistically, like in that attack zone, but your opponent's also unlikely to attack it, unless it proves to be giving you such ridiculous value that it does become a high priority target, though obviously you'll presumably have a big boy dragon that they'll probably want to deal with. Putting it in the defensive zone is obviously going to be very annoying for your opponent, because it can force potentially 2 attacks into it, or a high value attack that they'd rather throw into a dragon or something. So yeah, I just think this is generally like a really strong card, and we're going to have to test and see how it goes, but I am very interested in now Wonderverse in the energy-based rulers, because Wonderverse was the faction I was most excited for when I first saw all of them, because like the whole aesthetic is something you tend not to see in card games, and especially with like the pink border and stuff, that's like very unique, so I was like pretty into that. The next card we got is from the second starter deck, and that is this. So, translation, there we go. Wow, wow. This card is mental. So the counter is super high value. If your opponent board clears you or something, or you just don't have a board, or you don't have a particularly high value board, hitting this is going to upgrade your board. You cannot call to the defensive zone, which is a good thing, frankly, because otherwise this would just be broken. Like, if you could also call to the defensive zone, this, like, is just outvaluing every single other one of those types of cards in the game. It's kind of like I wouldn't say it's straight power creep on them, because it is an event and the rest of those are units, so you can just play them, but this is also like a really high value event, so like I also don't even think that's like a particularly great argument. The thing to basically this has to be the way it is, otherwise it would be too good, and even the way it is ridiculous. Now obviously we don't know what the zombies look like just yet, but in terms of stats, however, I would assume that whilst they were probably statted with this in mind to an extent, one of the things about the cards with counters to like play them is that counter is hefty. It is expensive. That is like not a cheap thing to get. You take a major hit to your stats, right? You're talking about a level 0 111, which is getting more stats than it actually deserves, or a level 2 321. Garbage cards, right? In terms of like actual stats, like really bad. Here, you're not really taking a hit because it's an event, and you're essentially allowed to take advantage of your zombies that are going to be statted. However, for example, if we get a level 2 vanilla zombie, or a level 1 vanilla zombie, or a level 0 vanilla zombie, that is crazy value, right? Getting out a 2 and a 0, getting out a 1 and a 1, 1 and a 0, even 2 zeros, it's going to be value. Making a board from nothing is really strong, and this is all just the counter effect. Now let's consider like actually paying the 3 energy here, and whilst that is significantly worse, it's still really good, because the thing you have to consider is that you're only losing 1 card from hand for this. You're not having to physically play 2, right? So it's also not using a summon cap, I'm pretty sure. So like if it is, I take that back, but I'm pretty sure it isn't. So like, yeah, you just get to shit those out, but also you're maintaining hand advantage, right? You're gaining 2 bodies on board for only 1 card from hand. That's letting you plus. And one of the biggest things with these energy rulers is you need to quickly get that hand going, because you start with such a small one, to then be able to transform that into advantage a little later into the game with lots of defensive tools to outlast your opponent and then start doing really good things. That's kind of the whole way that these energy rulers at the moment are flowing, like Knight and Beta. Now obviously Wizard and the others, we have no idea what those will do, and I'm very excited to see them, but we'll talk about those more when it comes to it. But yeah, I think this card is insane, and I'm really looking forward to testing it. But yeah, that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, found it useful. If you did, like the video, subscribe to the channel for the latest gate rule news, and obviously Vanguard Overdress as well, as and when we get more interesting news from that. I'm not going to cover really basic stuff that every big content creator is going to cover. Yeah, okay, cool. You know what Persona Ride is. Everyone and their mum made a video about it. Whatever. That's it. See you guys in the next one. Cheers.